10 feet tall. You held my hand like I'd never fall, like I could fight the dark for you. I hear your laughter in empty rooms. It echoes louder than truth. Time moves on like it always does, but I still see the child you were. If the day comes sooner than we planned, and you're reaching for a missing hand, when my voice becomes the wind at night, and you can't see me in the light, close your eyes, I'll still be near, in every hope, in every tear. If my chair stands empty by the door, and I don't walk beside you anymore, remember this through all you do. My love outlives the years with you. I know I stoned, I lost my way, worked too long, missed holidays, but every scar upon my hands was built to shape your promised land. I feared the world would break your heart, that I'd be gone before you start to understand why fathers pray for strength they never show by day. And when you stand where I once stood, questioning if you're enough, if you're good, and you can't see me in the light, listen close, I'll guide you through the doubt that tries to bury you. If my shadow fades into the sky, then all you have are reasons why. Oh, the truth I always knew, there's nothing I wouldn't give for you. Dust or setting sun, and when you feel you're standing alone with children of your own, you'll understand what I tried to say in quiet ways. I was never scared of dying, only scared of leaving you with with questions I could not answer, or dreams I couldn't see through. When my voice becomes the wind at night, and stars replace my fading light, don't you think I disappeared? I'm in the courage you have feared, in every choice that makes you strong, in righting what I once got wrong. My greatest work, my proudest view, was being the father of you. So when the silence feels too wide, and you wish I were by your side, just breathe, I'll be there too. And all the best of you. There's a choir in the house tonight. Your bedroom door half closed, I stand here in the fading light. Your drawings on the kitchen wall still hang a little torn. Trace your name with trembling hands and feel the night be born. I never fear the dark for me, I fear the dark you see. If I'm not there to hold the rain, when stones fall on your shoulders, if my arms conceal the pain, when this cold world grows colder, know every beat within your chest was once beneath my own. And even when I'm laid to rest, you will not stand alone. I remember teaching you to ride without my hand. You didn't see me letting go, you thought you made that stand. But every step you ever took, I walked a breath behind, prepared to catch you if you fell or lost your peace of mind. One day you'll turn and look for me, and on the sky you'll see. If I'm not there to dry your tears or calm your restless sleeping, if silence fills the passing years and memories start bleeding, know every word I meant to say. Life's deeper than the grave, and who you are and who you'll be, in every choice you make. Heart's hard, too proud sometimes to speak. If you feel lost, just close your eyes and listen through the pain. You'll hear my voice in steady tones, like distant thunder in the rain. I'm not afraid of leaving Earth or fading from your sight. I'm only scared you'll doubt yourself when I'm no longer there to fight. Promise me you'll stand up tall, even when you're torn apart. Because the bravest thing I built was the courage in your heart. If I'm not there to see you win or watch your children grow, if time erases where I've been, as seasons come and go, remember this through every scar, through every dream you chase. My love is not a passing star, it's written in your face. And when you whisper to the sky on nights that feel too long, you won't be speaking into air, you'll hear me in your song. Still remember summer night, fireflies in mason jars. You fell asleep on my shoulder, counting distant stars. Your tiny hand around my thumb, like I was made of stone, like I could hold a universe and make it feel like home. Now the mirror shows a silver ghost of who I used to be, and time has started whispering what it will take from me. I don't fear the end of days, I fear the day you'll call my name. When the house is quiet and I'm not there, and my boots don't wait by the door, when the weight of life feels unfair, like you can't breathe anymore, remember how I held you close when thunder shook the sky. That same love lives inside your bones, it does not say goodbye. I miss some games I work too late, I carry pride like armor, but every mile I walked away was walked to make you stronger. If I could rewrite anything, I'd give you more of me, more bedtime stories, longer talks, more truth you couldn't see. One day you'll stand where I once stood, trying to do the best best you could. When the house is quiet and I'm not there, and you're fighting tears alone, when you search the dark for a prayer and wish, I'd pick up the phone. Remember every word I meant, even the ones unsaid. They're written deep within your heart, not buried with the dead. The world will test your fragile faith, it'll bruise and bend your will. But you were raised in stubborn love, the strength is in you still. If you feel small beneath the sky, or doubt the man you've grown, just look inside the fire you carry. That flame was once my own. I'm not afraid of closing eyes or fading into night. I'm only scared you'll think somehow you have to win my fight. You don't. You just have to live and love without restraint. When the house is quiet and I'm not there, and seasons change your face, when laughter echoes in the air in some familiar way, know every good in you I see was never accidental chance. You are my proof I live with meaning, my unfinished song's last stanza. So when the fireflies fade from view and stars burn into dawn, don't look for me in empty rooms, I'll be in what you've become. There's an old coat hanging by the stairs, still shaped like I'm inside. Dust settles on the wooden rail where you once learned to climb. Your laughter used to fill these halls like sunlight through the glass. Now evening leans against the walls and whispers that time will pass. I watch you sleeping from the door like I did years ago, wondering how to give you more before I have to go. Never told you I was scared of leaving you unprepared. Where my footsteps send down this long road, and you don't hear them anymore. When the weight of life feels cold and you're standing there closed door, don't think my love was tied to breathe or locked inside my chest. It's carved into the man you are, it's beating in your steps. It wasn't always soft or wise, sometimes I chose my pride. There were storms behind my eyes. I didn't let you inside, but every silence that I kept was fear dressed up as strength. A father trying to protect at any hidden length. If I could gather all the years and shape them one by one, I'd build a bridge across your fears and walk you through each one. One day I'll search the empty air and wish that I was there. When my footsteps end down this long road and the nights feel twice as long, when you're carrying your own heavy load and questioning what went wrong, remember how I held your bike and let you ride alone. That same unseen hand will guide even when I'm gone. The world will try to harden you to trade your heart for steel, but don't forget the quiet truth that tenderness is real. If tears fall in the dark, don't turn your face away. They are the proof you loved enough to feel what words can't say. I'm not afraid of fading out or silence taking me. I'm only scared you'll ever doubt your worth or dignity. You were my second chance at grace, my unfinished prayer, the reason I stood back up when life was unfair. When my footsteps end down this long road and you're staring at the sky, when you whisper things you never showed and wonder if I hear you cry. Know every strength you carry now was born from seeds we sowed. You are the echo of my heart where my footsteps end. You go. Brushes past your skin, don't search for me in memories, I'm living from within. Sitting beside your bedroom door tonight, listening to you breathe. The world outside keeps turning on like it won't wait for me. Your sneakers by the hallway wall, your jacket on a chair, proof that time is moving fast and I can't hold it there. As silver creeping through my hair, lines carved by silent fights, battles I would fight again just to guard your nights. I never feared the end for me, only what you'd feel without me. If tomorrow finds you alone and my voice is just a memory, if you reach out for the phone but there's no one there to answer, gently close your eyes and you will see I never truly left. My love is stitched into your soul in every fragile breath. I wasn't perfect, I was flawed. I raised my voice too high. I carried worries like a cross. I didn't let you see me cry. But every mile I ran from fear was just to clear your way. Every dream I put on hold was so yours could stay. One day you'll stand where I once stood, with trembling hands of your own, trying to build something good in a world of stone. And when you question who you are, look how far you've come so far. If tomorrow finds you alone and the nights feel twice as long, if you're fighting battles on your own, unsure where you belong, remember how I held your hand when you were scared of the dark. That same strength is in your chest, beating like a spark. Afraid of closing eyes or fading into night. I'm only scared you'll doubt yourself when I'm not there to fight. Promise me you'll chase the light, even when it's thin, because the greatest part of me is the strength you hold within. It lives in every step you take, in every hope you steer. And when the wind moves through the trees, still loving you. There's a clock that ticks too loud at night, in a house that used to roar, with toy car crashes, lullabies, and footsteps on the floor. I run my fingers through the dust on trophies on your shelf, and wonder who you'll talk to when you're talking to yourself. I see tomorrow in your eyes, brighter than my own, and it scares me knowing one day you'll face that world alone. Never feared my fading breath, I feared your tears the day I left. When I'm only stories you recall, and photographs in frames, when you can't hear my voice at all, or whisper me your pain. Don't think that love was flesh and bone, or something time could sever. The man I was lives in your heart, and that is there forever. I know I wasn't always strong, sometimes I bent, I broke, I hid my doubts behind a smile, and courage in a joke. But every burden that I bore was carried for your sake. Every sleepless, worried night was for the path you take. One day you'll hold your own child close and feel that trembling fear When I'm only stories you recall, and the nights are hard to bear, when you feel too small, too frail, too lost, and wish that I was there. Remember how I let you fall, then helped you stand again. The strength was never mine alone. It's always been within. The world will try to steal your light, convince you not to feel. But don't you trade your tender heart for armor made of steel. If grief should wrap around your chest and make it hard to breathe, let it come, it only proves how deep we dare to love and believe. I'm not afraid of disappearing, but turning into sky. I'm only scared you'll question if you made me proud in life. You did. From your very first cry, you were my proof that God was kind, my reason not to hide. When I'm only stories you recall, when seasons change your face, when you stand up after every fall, with quiet, stubborn grace. Know every good you carry now, every honest endeavor is everything I hoped you'd be. The man you'll remember. So when you speak my name someday, through tears you cannot measure, don't say goodbye, just say you love me, and we'll be tied forever. There's a box beneath our old bed, filled with things I meant to say, birthday cards I never wrote for some faraway someday. I traced your name and carefully, like it could stop the years. Paper cannot hold back time or shield you from your fears. I watch you growing taller now, your shadow past my own. And dirt. Read the love I left in you. In every word I said, you were the promise I held on to. In every tear I bled. I wasn't good at saying stay. Well, son, I'm scared too. I built my strength from silent days and tried to pass it to you. If I was hard, it came from hope, not from a heart of stone. I wanted you to stand so firm long after I was gone. I think about the day you'll drive with no one in the seat, where I once rode and gave advice about defeating dreams. Will you remember how I tried, even when my words would hide? When I'm out there to break your fall, or steady shaking hands, when the night feels 10 feet tall and you can barely stand, know the courage in your chest did not appear by chance. It grew from every time you saw me rise from circumstance. Test what you believe, but don't let bitterness take root or make you hard to reach. If you ever doubt your worth or question who you are, look at the kindness in your eyes. That's where my legacies are. I'm not afraid of fading out or turning into dust. I'm only scared you'll think one day I didn't love enough. But every quiet sacrifice, every unseen bend, was just another sentence in letters I'll never get to send. When I'm not there to see you win or watch your children play, when memories grow thin and photographs decay, know this love is not confined to heartbeat, breath or skin. It lives in every good you choose, in the man you're growing in. So if you feel me in the wind or hear me in the rain, it's not goodbye I'm whispering, it's I would choose you again. Porch light homes in the evening air, your old bike leans by the gate. I see the boy with untamed hair who never believed in fate. He used to race the setting sun, certain I would keep it still, as if a father's outstretched arms could bend the world at will. Autumn gathers in my bones, winter in my breath, and I can feel the quiet truth behind the word called death. I don't tremble at the dark ahead. I tremble at the tears you'll shed when I sail beyond my final horizon. In the sky won't carry my name. When you stand in a world unguarded, nothing feels the same. Remember the fire I placed in your chest, the spark no grave can steal. My love was never just these hands. It's the strength you'll always feel. I know I stumbled through some years, let anger speak too loud. I wore my worries like a shield, too stubborn, too proud. But every scar across my life was shaped to pave your road. Every silent sacrifice, a lighter share of your load. You'll face your own unyielding storms, moments sharp and wild, and I won't be there in the flesh to steady you like a child. But listen close, when doubt appears, you'll hear my voice across the years. When I sail beyond my final horizon, and your prayers drift through the night, when you search for a guiding presence just beyond your sight, into the way you stand, a steady calm inside your heart is where I'll always land. I'm not afraid of fading out or losing my last fight. I'm only scared you'll think one day you weren't my greatest light. From your first uncertain cry to the man that you'll become, you were the proof my life once for, my unfinished anthem sung. When I sail beyond my final horizon, and you whisper to the sky, when the ache feels everlasting, and you don't know how to try, stand tall with the love I gave. Let it rise and not confine, for everything I ever was continues in your spine. So when the sun dips low someday and taints the world in gold, don't look for me in empty space. Look in the brave heart you hold. Your shoes are right by the doorway still. Mud from a regular. I smile at how you always run head first into everything. There's a crack across the kitchen wall from when we threw that ball indoors. Your mother laughed, I played it tough, but I wanted 10 moments more. The years move like a freight train now, steel and smoking sound, and I can feel its distant shade beneath this aging ground. I'm not afraid of losing breath, I'm not afraid of leaving you with death. When the silence learns my name and dances where I used to stand, when you call out through the rain and don't feel my hand, remember how I taught you hope in the middle of our storms. Love was never just my voice, it's the shape your courage forms. I know I wasn't always soft, my words could fall like stones. I tried to build you into strength with splinters of my own. If I was distant some hard nights, it wasn't lack of care, it was fear dressed up as pride. I didn't know how to share. One day you'll sit where I sit now, watching someone sleep, and understand the quiet wars a father's heart must keep. You'll feel that ache you can't explain, that love and fear are twins in pain. When the silence learns my name and the house forgets my sound, when the world feels wild and untamed and no safe place is found, know I buried my best in you, not in some stone outside. Every decent choice you make is where I still reside. The world will tempt you into steel, tell your hearts are weak, but kindness is the bravest fight you'll ever choose to keep. If grief carves lines across your face like rivers through the land, let them flow, each tear will prove your love beyond command. I don't fear the closing dark or earth against my skin, I fear you'll think you walk alone when you've always had me within. From scraped up knees to broken dreams, through every fall and climb, you were the meaning of my life, not just a chapter in time. When the silence learns my name and the sky won't answer why, when the memory brings both flame and tears you cannot dry, stand up straight, breathe deep, move on, let your heart remain untamed. For every step you bravely take keeps my love aflame. can't hear. It won't be silence answering. It will be me still here. There's a thing in how to grab on my desk tonight. Your tiny fingers wrapped in mine. You looked at me like I was the sky, like I could outrun time. I used to carry you on my back through fields of reckless green. You thought I knew the answers all to things I'd never seen. Now the mirror tells a different truth. Silver lines where black ones shine. And I catch myself just wondering about the day I'll leave you behind. I don't fear the quiet grave. I fear the tears you'll try to brave. When the day my shadow stays behind and the sun won't warm your side, when you reach for strength and find there's no place left to hide, remember how I faced the storm with shaking hands and pride. That same fire lives in you. It never truly died. I raised my voice at times, I let my temper win. I tried to teach you how to fight in a world that bruises skin. But every harsh and heavy word was fear I couldn't name. A father scared he'd lose his chance to keep you safe from pain. One day you'll stand where I stand now, your child asleep upstairs, and you'll understand the silent weight of unanswered prayers. You'll feel that ache beneath your chest, love at its strongest and its worst. When the day my shadow stays behind and my house forgets my sound, when you search the sky to find some sign I'm still around, know I planted more than words in everything I tried. My greatest legacy was you. Not what I owned, but what survived. Test your patience hard, it will bend you to your knees. But don't let it steal your tenderness or bring your heart to freeze. If Grief becomes a heavy coat you're forced to wear alone. Let it remind you how we loved, how deeply we had grown. I'm not afraid of fading out or turning into dust. I'm only scared you'll doubt yourself or lose your sense of trust. From your first breath in my arms to the man that you will be, you were the proof that I was more than just mortality. When the day my shadow stays behind and tears blur every line, when you're fighting through the night and asking for a sign, stand tall in the light you carry. Let your heart stay open wide for everything I ever was. Walks forward at your side. And when the wind moves through the trees and brushes past your mind, it won't be absence that you feel, just love that stayed behind. Garage light flickers in the cold. Your old bike's hanging high. Dust on the helmet, scraped up paint, proof that we learned to try. You used to fall and look at me like I could rewrite pain, as if my hands could shield your heart from every coming rain. Now I feel the weight of years settling in my bones, and I wonder how you'll stand the day you stand alone. I never feared the end of breath. I feared your first true taste of death. When I'm no longer in the room to say that it's okay, when grief arrives too soon and steals your words away, remember how I faced the dark even when I was scared. That quiet strength you saw in me is something that we shared. I wasn't always gentle, son. Sometimes my silence cut. I thought that hiding every doubt was how a man was built. But every long and restless night I lay awake in fear, not of dying, not things I hid, the battles no one ever did. When I'm no longer in the room and you're staring at the sky, when memories bloom and you don't know why you cry. No, I planted pieces of myself in every choice you make. You are the promise of my life, the proof I did not break. Try too hard on you to trade your heart for steel, but promise me you'll always choose to let yourself still feel. If sorrow presses on your chest, makes it hard to stand, let it remind you how we loved, how tightly we once held hands. I'm not afraid of fading out or turning into air. I'm only scared you'll doubt your worth when I'm no longer first cry against my skin to the man you'll grow to be. You were the reason I believed in something bigger than me. When I'm no longer in the room and the silence feels too wide, when hope gives way too soon, there's nowhere left to hide, stand tall with the love I gave. Let it lift you through, for even when I'm out of sight, my sky lives on in you. So when you look up late at night and stars are breaking through, don't search for me beyond the dark. The sky you carry is you. Hallway's dim, the house asleep, your door is slightly wide. I watch the rhythm of your dreams like tides I cannot guide. Your trophies gather quiet at dust, your drawings line the stair, proof that time keeps moving on, no matter how I stare. My hands are not as steady now, my breath not quite as strong, and I can feel the truth approach like a distant, solemn song. I'm not afraid of closing eyes, I'm afraid of your unanswered whys. Before the echo fades from these walls, before my chair stands bare, before the silence gently calls, and I am not there. Remember how I faced each fall and rose though I was worn. The stubborn light inside your chest is where I'll be reborn. Is where I'll be reborn. I know I carried too much pride. I hid behind be strong. I didn't always say I love you as often as I should have all along. But every hour I worked away, every night I stayed awake, was just a quiet sacrifice. For every step you take, one day you'll hold your own child close and feel that fragile fear of loving something so profound you can't imagine not being near. That you'll know what filled my chest, a love that never learned to rest. Before the echo fades from these walls and memories blur with time, when life feels heavy in your palms and you're fighting to be fine. No, I planted all my faith in the man that you would be. My greatest proof I lived with purpose is the strength I see in thee. The world will try to steal your heart, to trade your warmth for stone, but promise me you'll keep it soft even when you're alone. If grief wraps tight around your ribs and makes it hard to stand, let it remind you how we loved. Not perfect but unplanned. I don't fear the coming dark or earth upon my skin. I feel the moment you'll believe you've lost me deep within. From scraped up knees to shattered dreams, from laughter to despair, you were the reason I endured every silent prayer. Before the echo fades from these walls, before the last goodbye, when you feel the weight of it all and look up at the sky, stand tall in the love I gave. Let it guide you through, for even when my voice is gone, my heartbeat walks in you. And when you whisper in the dark, thinking I can't hear, it won't be emptiness that answers. It will be love still near. There's a dent still in the driveway from the day you learned to ride. You crashed, stood up and looked at me. pretending not to shake. Letting go is harder than any risk you take. Now I sit here in the twilight with winter in my veins, thinking of a future where you whisper through the rain. I don't fear the closing door, I fear you needing me once more. When my hands are only memory and can't wipe tears away, when you're fighting through uncertainty on some relentless day, remember how I stood my ground though I was scared inside. The quiet strength you saw in me is where I still reside. I wasn't always gentle, son. I spoke like storms can speak. I thought that building you up strong meant never showing weak. But every night I checked your room to hear your steady breath, afraid of every shadow that even hinted at death. One day you'll feel it in your chest, that love that won't release, the kind that robs you of your sleep yet gives your spirit peace. You'll know the weight I carried then, the silent prayers of stubborn men. When my hands are only memory and the house forgets my sound, when you search for certainty and none can be found, know I poured my better half into the man you are. You are my unfinished sentence, my brightest distant star. The world will bruise your hopeful heart, it will test your every scar, but don't let it steal your tenderness or dim who you truly are. If sorrow presses like a stone against your fragile ribs, let it prove how deep we love, how fiercely love still lives. I'm not afraid of fading out or earth upon my skin. I'm only scared you'll doubt yourself when I'm no longer there to win. From your first cry against my chest to the man you'll grow to be, you were the proof that I was more than just mortality. When my hands are only memory and my voice is just the wind, when you at your own doorway, wondering where I've been. Stand tall with the love I gave, let it guide you through. For even when I'm out of sight, my heartbeat lives in you. And if you feel a sudden warmth on nights that feel too long, it won't be chance or empty air. It will be my love holding on. Holding on. Holding on. Radio hums a worn out tune from when you were just 5. You're dancing songs across this room like love could keep time alive. Your crayons mark the kitchen walls, your laughter shook the stairs. I used to think those simple days would somehow always be there. Now night falls heavier on my chest, age speaks slow and slow. I catch myself imagining the day you let me go. Not afraid of losing breath, I'm afraid of what you'll feel with death. When the quiet after I'm gone feels louder than before, when you wake up at the dawn and I don't walk through that door, remember how I held your fear until it lost its name. That steady ground beneath your feet was built from love, not fame. I know I wasn't perfect, son. I failed in silent ways. I worked too long, I missed some nights, got lost in endless days. But every call I couldn't take, every late night drive was justify the trying hard to keep your dreams alive. One day you'll sit where I sit now, with silver in your hair, and feel that ache of wanting more time than life can spare. Then you'll understand my guarded eyes, how love and fear are both disguised. When the quiet after I'm gone wraps tightly around your chest, when you're trying to stay strong, the grief won't let you guide your stubborn heart. You are my greatest work of art. Right from the start. The world will test your gentleness. It will tempt you into stone. But promise me you'll stay soft, even when you're alone. If tears fall heavy in the dark, and pride won't let you bend, let them fall. They prove the love that never reached an end. I don't fear the coming night or earth above my name. I fear you'll think my leaving means our love has changed its frame. From your first breath against my skin to the man you'll rise into, you were the reason I stood tall, the bravest thing I knew. When the quiet after I'm gone tries to steal your light, when you're facing what went wrong in the middle of the night, stand tall in the love I gave. Let it guide your way. For even when my voice is still, my heart and you will stay. When you whisper to the sky with tears you cannot hide, it won't be silence answering. It will be me inside. There's a workbench in the garage with splinters in the grain, where we build a crooked birdhouse in the middle of the rain. Yield the hammer like a king. I held the world at bay, believing I could bargain time if I just chose to stay. But calendars don't bend for love, and seasons turn their page. I feel the frost beneath my skin, the quiet weight of age. I'm not afraid of closing doors. I'm afraid you'll search for mine and yours. When I'm only a story told on nights that feel too long, when the air is sharp and cold and you're trying to be strong, remember there's a lantern lit deep within your chest. I place it there with every hurt, with every do your best. I know I was an easy son, pushed you harder than I should. In my fear you'd lose the game. But every lesson wrapped in steel was forged from fragile care. A father trying to build a shield from love he couldn't bear. One day you'll feel that trembling shift when someone calls you dad, and you'll understand the sleepless nights and every fear I had. You'll feel how love can shake your bones, how it makes your heart a home. Oh, and I'm only a story told, and the house forgets my sound. When you're standing in the cold with no safe ground around, know I carved my better parts into the man you are. You are my unfinished prayer, my compass and my star. The world will try to close your fist to harden what is kind, but strength is not a wall of stone, it's love that stays aligned. If grief crashes like a wave and knocks you to your knees, let it teach you what we had was deeper than the sea. I don't fear the dark and dirt or silence in my name. I fear you'll think my leaving means our love won't burn the same. From your first cry against my heart to the man you'll rise to be, you were the proof that I had lived with fierce integrity. When I'm only a story told, and you're staring at the sky, when the truth feels hard to hold, and you're asking yourself why, stand tall with a lantern bright, let it guide you through. For even when my hands are gone, my light remains in you. And when the wind moves through the trees and calls you by your name, it won't be lost you're hearing. It will be love, still aflame.